Okay, here's an overview of my Z-independent dust collection system, which works reasonably well here. And I needed it because I'm milling pink foam, which just gets everywhere. You can see it, so it kicks up here. So basically, it attaches in two places to this back plate. This is 8mm rod. These are plastic bearings. They're not like the LMU whatever bearings, but they're plastic, and I'll link to those. And then there's basically enough friction because I didn't drill these holes all that precise, and so this basically moves with just friction, which is useful because it will basically push itself down if it hits it. I can't put my phone down and lift it up, but whatever. If previously there was too much, not enough friction basically, so I have some magnets here that I slid down and that just sort of supports it. But I changed out one of these guys. I made one that was compensating for my misdrilled holes, and that actually had too much. It was not enough friction basically, so I put the one in that creates more friction, and it works great. So these are magnets here that hold this, and I actually had to take some of the magnets out because it was I literally could not get it off once because these are super powerful magnets. And then there's a Logan's. I reduced the size of this in Fusion, but this is Logan's air blower here, and by making it small enough, it prevents most of the foam from sort of kicking out here in this gap right here. It has to be bigger than this because sometimes this will actually go through down into that. And so, depending on how short your bit is, most of the stuff that actually kicks out here comes out through. It sort of pokes its way through these here. So these bristles here are, if you go to Harbor Freight, like for $1.50, you can buy one of their bench brushes, and I just trimmed them off and glued them in using Lexol or whatever it's called. So it works pretty well. You can see that I get a lot of crap that shows up here, the dust. So it's not 100% effective. The chief goal here was to keep the really the pink dust off my side rollers because and the ball screws, because at one point, I don't know if it was a loose wire or if it was because of accumulation of pink dust, but the whole CNC racked at one point, and I had to take it apart and re-screw everything in, and I thought I damaged stuff, but it was okay. So the goal is really just to keep the dust from going everywhere. So it's okay if it gets here because I can vacuum it up there. So other than that, I have the dust collection system here. This is 2.5 inch, I think maybe it's 2 1/4, I don't know, 2.5 inch from Amazon. I'll link to that. And that just goes up to my dust collection system here, and then ultimately out to a dust collector. And here's a system for controlling which of the two. There's a port here that I can use to suck up with a hose here that this mounts on there, and that's how I vacuum up all of the pink dust when I'm done milling. And it is a completely ineffective dust collection system that was supposed to do a pre-collection of the pink dust, and of course it doesn't work at all there. So by and large, I'm very pleased with the way that's worked out. I don't know that this is totally necessary, but because probably the ones that are attaching to the spindle are probably fine, but it certainly has helped reduce, if not eliminate, the dust that I was getting from milling this stuff.